You've got three things open on your screen. One for work, one for that school form that the kids told you to do and you have been meaning to finish since Tuesday earlier in the week. And then there's a tab open that you can't even remember why you opened it. Your phone is face up on the counter. It buzzes. You glance at it while you're stirring something on the stove and answering a question someone just called out from the other room in the house. You're not behind. You're not ahead. You're just in all of it at the same time. The laundry is in, the email is half written, the conversation with your daughter or your son that you've been meaning to have for 3 days is still on your heart, waiting for a moment that just keeps not coming. You're juggling. That's what you do. That's what you've always done. And you're good at it. Nobody told you to carry all of this. You just picked it up, one thing at a time, until it became who you are. When one thing slows down, when a project wraps, when a season ends, when there's a rare breath of quiet, you don't rest. You find the next thing. Not because you're running from something, it's because being needed feels like being alive. You craved this life, the family, the career, the purpose. You imagined it. You prayed for it. You got it. You just never learned how to live in it. Welcome to episode 152 of Below the Circle. I'm Dr. Phyllis, your life landing coach. If that sounds familiar, the juggling, the being present for everything, but not fully present in anything, I want you to know something before we go any further. You're not broken, and you're not just busy. Something happened. Life brought turbulence, and you did what you had to do. You adapted, you kept going, you kept caring. And somewhere along the way, the doing became the only way you knew how to live. Today, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong with you. I'm going to help you feel something you might not have felt in a while. What it's like to be fully here, even if only for a few minutes. Even if only for the time we're spending together right now. You're not someone who finishes your list and can't sit still. You never finish. There's always more. Another text to answer, another fire to put out, another person who needs you. And you're glad they do, because being needed tells you something. It tells you that what you do matters, that you matter. And so you keep juggling. You're responsible, you're dependable, you're the one they call at home, at work, at church, in the group chat. You don't do it for applause, so to speak. Most of the time, nobody even sees how much you're caring. But every now and then, you feel it. That little high when someone says, I don't know what I'd do without you. Or when a project lands and someone notices. Or when you show up and handle something nobody else could. It feels good for a minute. And then it's gone. And you're already looking for the next thing. Because the feeling didn't last. It never lasts. Because it wasn't rooted in who you are. It was rooted in what you did. And what you did is already over. So you need to do the next thing, and the next, and the next. Sis, I want you to hear this. The doing isn't bad. The doing is real. You care about people. You're good at what you do. The world is better because you show up. But somewhere along the way, somewhere between the goals you set and the life you craved and the reality of living it, the doing replaced the living. Not because you chose that, it just happened. One, I'll handle it at a time. One more thing in the air at a time until the doing was all you knew. And the life you craved, the one you're actually living in, became the thing you never quite landed in. You didn't fall, you didn't fail, you adapted. You did what you had to do. And I want you to sit with that for just a moment. Not the guilt of what you missed, but the grace of understanding why. You were surviving. You were holding it all together. You were keeping everyone, including yourself, in the air. That's not failure. That's endurance. And endurance deserves compassion, not criticism. You just never learned how to land in the middle of it. Let me show you something from scripture. Now, don't analyze it. I'm asking you to just receive it. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. This is from Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30. And I read from the New American Standard Bible. Now, notice what Jesus didn't say. He didn't say, stop working. He didn't say, your busyness is the problem. He didn't say, you should have been resting all along. He said, come to me. He didn't address what you've been doing. He addressed what you've been carrying. Weary and heavy laden. That's not a description of your productivity. That's a description of what it's costing you to keep seeking proof that you matter through what you do. Now, I want to say this again. Jesus didn't address what you've been doing. He addressed what you've been carrying. Weary and heavy laden. That's not a description of your productivity. That's a description of what it's costing you to keep seeking proof that you matter through what you do. And then he said, take my yoke upon you. A yoke is what oxen wear when they pull a load together. Jesus wasn't saying, stop doing. He was saying, stop carrying this alone. Stop pulling your own worth like the whole load depends on you. The doing doesn't have to be the proof anymore. You already matter. You don't have to earn it. The issue was never the doing. The issue is that the doing became the proof. And the proof never lasts because it was never meant to carry that weight. Now, let me share with you from my own experience. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I have dealt with, once I get pregnant, I did not have any problems, but getting pregnant was a whole nother story. And I had always wanted to have children. And for both of my kids, it took time. It never came in my plan. And I have been praying to have my first child. And eventually I became pregnant. Now, I got pregnant and was pregnant when I entered my Master's of Public Health program. And I was very much pregnant at that time. And I had her while I was still in my program. And I was running between my clinical responsibilities and my research responsibilities and my classroom responsibilities, doing my homework, and I was running. So when I had her in true Phyllis form, I still was trying to juggle everything else. And I can remember being in the kitchen, trying to get dinner going, make sure she ate, and knowing that I needed to study before the night was over. Honestly, the stress had impacted my ability to breastfeed. She got some in when I was on maternity leave, but I had to balance things out. And because, as you know, stress can affect your ability to produce enough to do breastfeeding. But I was running. And so I can remember this night, I was in the kitchen and my husband was actually sitting on the couch. He had my daughter laying, her back on his lap. And he was enjoying their time together as she just was kicking in his belly. She's just practicing kicking her feet and he's smiling and laughing with her and she's cooing back. And I can remember looking, I'm going to be honest, I was upset. I was a little resentful because I felt like I couldn't do it. I had so much to do that I was in it. I was jealous at that moment of him enjoying that time. So I totally understand how that can feel when here I had wanted this baby and I got her. And as those of you who have children, it can be that when you first bring that child home, it is wild in itself. And so I understand how it is when you can get so caught up in trying to juggle everything and everybody and trying to be the wife, trying to be the mom, trying to work, trying to go to school. And here was this life that I had wanted. I had wanted my baby, but I wasn't able to land. I wasn't able to fully be present in the situation. I didn't know how. I did not know how. Yet from that experience, this is what I want to tell you and share with you. And I want to be honest with you. You, like me, because I've had other situations where the same thing, I could probably tell you a similar story when I had my second child, and a lot of experiences over time. So I'm speaking from a standpoint of someone who's been right there in your shoes. I want to share with you, sis, that you too have been juggling for a long time. And if you're like most women that I know, somewhere in the middle of all the juggling, you had a moment. Maybe it was quiet, maybe it caught you off guard, but in that moment, you thought, wow, I'm present for all of it, and I'm missing all of it. The games, the performances, the special meals, the celebrations. And you're thinking to yourself, this is the life I craved. Yet I'm physically here and I'm missing it. But sis, I want to tell you something, and I need you to really hear it. You missed some of it, yet not all of it. Think about this for a minute. Not the moments you missed, the moments you didn't. There was a moment you laughed and meant it, not performed it, meant it. Your body knew it. Your heart was in it. You were there. There was a moment you held your child or someone you love and felt it, really felt it. The weight of them, the warmth, the holiness of being that close to another life. There was a moment that you sat with someone, a patient, a friend, a stranger, a coworker, a client, a customer, and you knew in your bones that this was holy ground. This was a very special moment. That what you were doing mattered in a way that went deeper than productivity. There was a moment you looked at the sky, a sunset, a clear night, light coming through trees, and your heart whispered, thank you. Not because you made yourself be grateful, because something in you remembered that this right here at that moment is what living feels like. Those moments are real. They're yours. Nothing has been wasted. The doing replaced some of the living, but it didn't replace all of it. And those moments, the ones you did land in, they're not gone. They're in your memory. They're in your body. They're the proof that you already know how to be present. You don't have to learn it. You just have to come back to it. And here's the part I want you to really lean in and hear. You don't have to leave your life to find your life. Can I say that again? You don't have to leave your life to find your life. You're still juggling, still parenting, still working, still showing up, I'm not going to tell you drop everything. You can't, and you shouldn't have to. The goal isn't to disappear from your life in order to heal, in order to make a change. The goal is to start landing in the middle of it, right where you are in the life you already have. You don't land by doing less. You land by being present in what you're already doing, by letting one thing matter more than all the others in one moment, by giving yourself permission to be on that couch playing with that baby instead of in the kitchen. Not because the kitchen and the work or the meal prep doesn't matter, but because playing with the baby matters too. And you've been skipping it. So let's not wait. Let's do this right now together. I'm not going to ask you to try something later. I'm going to ask you to experience something here in this moment with me. Here's what I want you to do. And I mean right now, not after the episode, right now. Whatever you're doing, driving, folding laundry, sitting in the car outside the house because you haven't gone in yet, I want you to pick one thing, just one, the one thing that matters most in this moment. Not the most urgent, the most important. Maybe it's the silence. Maybe it's the person sitting next to you. Maybe it's the cup of coffee in your hand. Maybe it's just your own breathing. And for the next 60 seconds, I want you to be fully in it. Don't fix anything. Don't resolve anything. Don't plan the next thing. Just be here in this one thing for 1 minute. So don't adjust your dials. This is all part of the plan today. I am going to wait with you for 60 seconds starting now. And remember, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. Just be here. God is here with you. He's been here the whole. Now, welcome back. Now, honestly, that might have been just short of 60 seconds or it might have been over. But I think you have a picture of what this can do for you. This is what I call a landing moment. At least 60 seconds. That's a landing moment. One small, intentional pause where you chose presence over performance, where you let the life you craved and crave matter more than everything you're juggling. And if something surfaced during that minute, grief, exhaustion, gratitude, a question you've been afraid to ask, you don't have to resolve it. You just have to let it be there because God is in the present moment. He's with you. He's been there the whole time, waiting for you to stop long enough to feel him. Cease striving and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10, New American Standard Bible. You've been striving, and underneath the striving, there's a woman who is tired. Not tired from work, but tired from seeking proof that she matters through what she does. You already matter. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to juggle one more thing to prove it. It's not too late to land, and nothing has been wasted. Sis, if this episode helped you feel something, even a little, I want you to know that there's more. There's a place where you can keep going, where the doing stops being the proof and starts being the living. Go to belowthecircle.com and get the guide, what's yours to carry and what isn't. It's your first step to stop circling and start landing. And come back next week. We'll do this again together, one episode at a time, one landing moment at a time. And remember, I'm on the ground and I can see you up there from here. And I want to help you live whole, aligned, and free. I'll see you next week. Take care now.